Hi folks, today is an exciting day as the Intune team is here to talk about how Windows 365 and Intune Suite are bringing next level security to your cloud PCs. So let's get started. Hi folks, I'm excited to share that this episode is all around the new Intune Suite and Windows 365. But before we start, please make sure to subscribe on our Windows IT Pro YouTube channel to stay up to date about all the latest news around Windows in the cloud. So let's move to our guests. So, hi Dilip, how are you doing? Thanks for being here.
I'm doing great.
Hey, can you share the audience a little bit what you do as part of the Intune engineering team and such?
Hi, folks. I'm Dilip Radhakrishnan. I'm a group product manager responsible for the Intune Suite as well as Intune security services.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Say, Mike, can you quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey everyone. I'm Mike Donosky. I'm a senior product manager here at Microsoft on the Intune team, focusing on policy and all that good stuff, mostly focusing on Windows.
Yeah, good to have you here as well. After all those magic tricks during MMS and other events, it's great to have you here too.
Got some new ones for this year, so hope to see you there.
Well, quick spoiler alert here. Hey, now it's a fun one. So now I want to have the Matts introduce themselves. So which Matt who wants to go first here?
Do you want to go first, Matt, or do you want me to go first?
Well, I think you're the new and improved version of the Matt Cole. So yeah, go ahead for it, mate.
Yeah, okay, absolutely. Hey, everyone. My name is Matt Call. I work for Dilip on the Intune engineering team, and I manage various products programs around Windows security.
Okay, now off to you, Matt Shadbolt, live from Australia.
The old version of Matt. Yeah, hi folks. My name is Matt Shadbolt. I'm a PM architect on the Windows 365 team. But the joke is I used to work for the Intune team. I used to work for Dilip and work with Mike and Matt. So Matt Cole is definitely the upgraded version of Matt, but very excited to have the old band back together and talking about Intune Suite and Windows 365.
Yeah, it's great to have you back here as well, Matt, from our side. And it's great to have us all here. It's kind of a little bit of a reunion, I think. And yeah, really looking forward to diving deep into Intune Suite and how it can help. But before we do so, Matt Shadbolt, can you explain a little bit how Intune management and the principles around management with like Windows 365 and Cloud PC come together as well to the audience?
Yeah, absolutely. And so one of the core principles of Windows 365 when we first started designing the product was that you need to be able to manage a cloud PC just like any other physical Windows PC in your environment. So that's actually one of the core reasons why we built all of the provisioning experiences and Azure networking experiences directly in the Intune console. So those physical devices are managed just like any other sort of cloud PC. It also means that all of the existing policies that you've got in Intune, including apps and updates and reports, will just work automatically out of box with cloud PCs as well. So there's no special work that you need to do to get those cloud PCs configured. And of course, with this topic today, we made sure that all of the features that Dilip, Matt, and Mike have been working for in the Intune Suite just work natively out of the box for cloud PCs as well.
Yeah, it's really great to hear that. And I, of course, remember that from even the white paper when Windows 365 wasn't there, when we positioned the product and create the framing and the principles of how it makes like virtualization environments easier and bring the physical and the cloud PC closer as one solution together. And I also hear more and more customers seeking for simplicity there from like an existing virtualized environment to move to a similar unified device management kind of control plane panel with Intune together and move all their workloads to just one management solution. So with Intune Suite, it's even easier and brings more capabilities together. So let's move to the cool stuff here and show you some of the like key capabilities of Intune Suite. So Dilip, can you share the audience like what Intune Suite exactly is all about, what the modules are and such, and then take it from there?
Sure, Christian. We had launched Intune Suite earlier this March. It's off to a great start because it addresses specific customer pain points. For example, with the rise of hybrid work after COVID, both IT teams and end user are all remote. So Intune's remote help service provides a secure remote help solution. And we have over 100 million mobile devices that are managed through Intune MAM service. And when those personal devices need access to line of business apps, then we have an Intune micro VPN tunnel as a part of our P2. Another critical problem that we solve with Intune Suite is a problem that customers have in making sure that their users are running as standard users. Today, what happens is a lot of users are running as local administrators, and that's a big security problem. So what we do with endpoint privilege management is to make sure that all your users are running as standard users and don't need elevated privileges. With enterprise application management, the problem we solve is we help patch third-party apps. Today with Intune, we can patch Windows devices, drivers, firmware, Office apps. But when it comes to third-party apps, which is where most of the vulnerabilities are, what we've done is implemented a solution called Enterprise App Management as a part of Intune Suite. The next problem that we've addressed as a part of Intune Suite is one that our customers told us, right? So they've moved their SCCM workload to Intune. They moved from Exchange on-prem to the cloud, but they still are stuck with on-prem PKI infrastructure, right? So that's pretty hard for them to manage. And with the Cloud PKI service, we offer a very simple solution to manage your certificates from the cloud. Last but not least, we also have an advanced endpoint analytics solution. It provides IT admins rich insights from the endpoints to make their IT operations more efficient.
Here, thanks, Dilip. And I really would like to see it in action here. So Matt Call, remote help, Windows 365, Windows 365 customers, and one of our main top, or let's say in the top 3 use cases is mergers and acquisitions. And tickets and such are very high in that transition phase with like acquiring new companies and consolidation and such. So can you shed some light on how remote help can help those customers as well with Windows 365?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at a scenario. You're sort of hitting on a pain point for a lot of mergers and acquisitions, which is I have these new people, they're onboarding to my organization. They might be struggling with support or setting up and running the first time, right? So let's take a look at how remote help can help you see what's going on with those customers. And then you can solve some of these problems with tools like EPM to facilitate elevations to get them back healthy, right? Like this is super important. And we really want to lower the total cost of ownership here for your support organizations, right? In these influx of users and devices that come into your organization. So first, let's just look at how we set up these two products, right? It's super simple. I'm not going to cover it in depth, but if you're not familiar with the tenant administration blade for remote help, here what you'll see we have three sort of tabs here. The first one here is settings, where I can click on configure. I can configure some basic settings for remote help. I also have a monitor tab to show me how active are my remote help sessions, how many users are using it, etc. And then up here at the top, I can see sessions, like a session history, right? In addition to this, you just need to deploy out the remote help app, which we have well documented on our Intune doc site. So take a look over there to see how to deploy that out to your organization. Secondly, with EPM, we've covered this at length at different forums, but EPM is turned on with a simple policy that's inside of the endpoint security blade. You're able to flip on EPM, determine how much data you send to facilitate your elevation usage data, and then also configure the default elevation response when no rules apply. So if we look at a scenario where somebody calls your help desk and says, "Hey, listen, I'm trying to launch Office and it's not launching. It's telling me I'm not allowed to do it, or it's throwing some sort of error," right? The first thing you want to do is see that device, right? You want to see what the end user's seeing to see, hey, is it really Office? Is it something else? What's going on, right? So in this scenario, if I come to my blade, I can go find a device now that I have remote help turned on. This happens to be one of my Cloud PCs, right? And I'm able to just come here and start a new remote assistance session. That launches the flow, so that way you connect to the user directly. We have authentication in place, so you know who the user is. The user knows who you are. And I've set that up already just for ease of demo here. When you view the customer screen, you look and you see, hey, they're not actually trying to run Office. They're trying to run Office setup, which, to an end user, they may be the same thing. I also have some other tools here for remote help. I'm able to use my laser pointer. I'm able to draw on the screen, which are all super useful features that all work on any device, including Cloud PCs in your enterprise. So now I come over to my console. I say, okay, they're trying to launch Office setup. And what I've done already is I've configured a rule in my organization that allows Office setup to elevate. I just got to make sure this device is getting that rule. And this is the foundation of EPM. EPM allows you to configure the type of elevation. Do I want user confirmed or automatic? It allows you to configure what the end user needs to do before that elevation is allowed to happen. And then it gives you some guardrails to put up around the app to say, I only want apps that are named this certain app or reside in this path or are signed by a certain certificate provider or maybe have file hash version, any file metadata that you could allow. So in this scenario, I go back to my remote help session. And when I'm here, I can either direct the end user, have them do it, or I can request full control, which I have in this session. I'm able to just right click on the app and hit run with elevated access. And then remember back in my rule, it says, hey, let's launch this, but let's require business justification. So I'm going to say install Office and just hit continue. And what you'll see from this point forward is Office starts installing on the device. The end user doesn't need admin privileges. They're running as standard user. And this pattern can really work for any app that's inside of your organization. We use Office as an example here, but maybe there's developer tools or other things you need to install. You can create rules and deploy those rules out to different devices to allow your end users to launch what they need to launch as standard user without giving away the keys to the kingdom, which is imperative. So what you just saw was we went over the remote help. We went over some light tenant configuration. I showed you remote help experience on Cloud PC, which you see here. And then we installed Office for the end user without ever having admin privileges on the device, which allows all this to just happen seamlessly. So this is a really good example of how we can leverage the Intune Suite, both remote help and EPM, on Cloud PCs to make sure that you have a seamless sort of experience for your end users. Does that answer any questions? Does that make sense?
Well, that's pretty cool, Matt. And I really like it how you bring two of the modules together as one use case enabler to solve tickets and issues that like Windows 365 customers with mergers and acquisitions, and of course other use cases too, might have to bring that security really to the next level without like making you use a local administrator and all those other things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as soon as an end user is a local administrator on their device, all bets are off, right? They effectively own the device. So one of our primary goals here is to make sure that we allow end users to run as standard user. We maintain that security boundary and benefit. And then we also build these integrations with our other tool sets, namely things like remote help, to make sure that it's all one product experience. You don't have to bounce around to different consoles. You don't have to know different tools, leverage different infrastructure. It's all managed for you, and you can spend more time operationalizing these tools and less time managing the infrastructure that goes with them.
Talking about other great add-ons of the Intune Suite is Advanced Analytics. So Mike, can you share some of the new insights that you can gain as an IT administrator in Intune with this?
Yeah, absolutely. And analytics is something we've always been focused on at Intune. Whether you're just trying to find out a little bit more information about a device, whether you're looking for an individual device, or you're trying to find a bunch of devices that are in a single state, and sort of gain a holistic view of everything that's going on in your environment. And one of the things that historically we've used this for is to detect issues before they happen, or set up some rules so that when issues do happen, you have remediation ready to go. You can troubleshoot, you can remediate, and whether you're using remote help, or EPM like Matt just showed, through advanced analytics where, we have a new announcement at Ignite that we're going to demo today called Device Query. And this is a real-time device query. And I'll go ahead and walk through the demo here. So we're going to go over here and select the blade. We're going to come into this KQL query window, and we're just going to create a quick table on device and join the OS version. In this case, we're looking for all of our Windows devices that are missing a certain patch or seeing if they are currently patched. This is a real-time query that's asking these devices their current state, their current patch state. And we can quickly see which of these devices are patched or not patched. Now we're going to go ahead and modify the query a little bit because we just want to get a raw count of how many devices are in this state. Now, the cool thing about this, and we kind of talked about a little bit earlier, is this will get not only your desktop devices, but also your cloud PCs. If you want in this query, it's totally flexible. So you can add a little bit here. So you want to see the devices that have just checked in the last day. You could also add something there so that you're only looking at your cloud PCs. let your imagination run wild on all the different things you can use this for. On the left there, you can see all of the attributes that you can query across and get results for your devices. Again, this is a real-time query. And as we go forward, we are adding additional variables and different properties that you can view. Like, for example, you can pull up all the devices that have a reboot pending. And then you'll see right here, if I have those that are pending reboot, I can actually go back and modify my query to have a list of just those devices. And then right here in this same page, I can issue a remote action to reboot those devices. So super handy, super practical. And again, just shows you how you can manage all your devices with that one holistic view. You're getting not only just your cloud PCs in here, but also your traditional desktops and laptops and whatnot.
Well, thanks, Mike. Really great insights, and great to see how Cloud PC and Windows other things come together with advanced queries that IT admins can gain with this add-on. So last but not least, Dilip, what about like Cloud PKI? What can you achieve with that?
Great question. With respect to Cloud PKI, it's a brand new service that eliminates the need for on-prem PKI infrastructure, right? So as you would know from past history, like setting up on-prem PKI infrastructure, it's pretty complex. You need to have servers for root CA, issuing CAs. You need to have a lot of staff that's worried about the security of these servers. You need to have a whole lifecycle management plan for servers to revoke certificates and manage the lifecycle. So that's pretty complicated, also needs a lot of knowledge and know-how. So what I'm going to show you now is how within 30 seconds, you can move this complete workload to a cloud-based PKI infrastructure. So what you would see here in this demo is I have an Intune Suite tenant where I'm going to go in and provide the name of the certificate authority. So provide the description, and then I choose whether it's a root CA or issuing CA, and I can also chain it to a root CA. So then you specify how long is the CA valid. You provide some organizational attributes for this, right? So that will help you identify the certificate authority and the certificates issued by the CA, right? So once you have done those steps, you have to then choose what is the encryption algorithm that you need. That's it. Within those 30 seconds now, you have a whole certificate authority up and running. When I refresh it, you see that there's a new CA that's up and running and ready to issue certificates. So you can go and look at some of the properties. What you would notice is that in addition to revocation lists and other things, you also find that this is not just a PKI service that just does the backend, but it also is the SCEP service that will be used for issuing certificates. So you can go in and you can see that in the SCEP certificate, you can go paste this URL that you downloaded from my previous screen, and that's it. Now you're ready to issue certificates for any devices that are enrolled into Intune. So your cloud PCs, as and when they are set up, if they need Wi-Fi certs or VPN certificates, then those certificates are automatically issued. So you can see how simple it is to take a very complicated workload like PKI that needed ADCS servers and infrastructure, and then move that completely to the cloud and manage it with a few simple clicks.
This is really great, Dilip. And I still remember from my IT consultancy days how hard it was to create a root CA and link them and sync them all together. Seeing this all coming into the Intune portal to live is really cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Back to you, Matt Shatbolt. So regarding Windows 365 customer scenarios and such, we talked about it a little bit, but can you shed some more light on the different modules and how they benefit Windows 365 customer scenarios even more?
Yeah, so since the Intune Suite release, we've seen so many customers look to pair both Windows 365 and the Intune Suite together. For example, one of our largest customers was looking to remove local admin across their entire Windows fleet. So they were looking to implement EPM, but to make the transition easier, they actually started with their Windows 365 Cloud PCs first. So they deployed their Cloud PCs with standard user only in the EPM suite, controls and suite turned on. And that allowed them to really quickly ramp up and test the Intune Suite without actually potentially impacting their physical devices. And then once they were confident that there wasn't going to be any impact and all that testing was complete, they were able to roll that same configuration out to all of their physical devices across their network. And as we mentioned, it's not just EPM, it's all of the Intune Suite functionality. So EPM and remote help and Cloud PCI, all those other features are just going to work natively with Cloud PCs. So my big recommendation would be that if you're looking at piloting either Windows 365 or the Intune Suite, I really recommend considering doing them both together. So at the end of the pilot, you'll have a full complete deployment that's both flexible from the Windows 365 side, but also as secure as possible using the Intune Suite.
Yeah, it's great to hear that. And of course, customers go Windows 365 because it's highly secure out of the box already. And this really brings that next level of security even together. So really great to see all those products coming to life here. And Dilip, how can people learn more about Intune Suite and Windows 365 if they want to kick the tires with a trial or something like that?
Yeah, we have a 90-day trial for Intune Suite. So the best part is you don't have to go somewhere else, right? Intune Suite is built into Intune console. So you can go, there is a new node, you can go in and enable, call it the hub, right, where we show all the new features. And this 6 services is just the start of the services in Intune Suite. We advertise as new services or capabilities are available. We directly have it there. So it's a great way to go sign up for a 90-day trial. You can try the entire suite or individual features if you want, and then do it in conjunction with your Cloud PC to get the best security experience.
What I really like here is that everything comes just together in the Intune admin portal. So you can do everything, the modules, just the core features of Intune as well, all together for your Cloud PCs, for your physical Windows endpoints, but as well your other devices like Android phones or tablets and such too. So really, really cool to see that unification of all the products and features coming together. So wrapping up this episode a little bit, and I definitely want to have you all back at some point and share how it all evolves. And once it is all GA and moves forward, like how those extra enhancements come to life. But for now, how can people stay in touch with you, Dilip, on social media and maybe provide feedback directly to you?
Yeah, the best way is Dilip Radhakrishnan on LinkedIn. I'm on Microsoft profile, so I'm the only one there, I think. So you should be able to find me on LinkedIn at Microsoft as the group product manager for Intune.
Okay, and what about you, Mike?
You can find me on both LinkedIn or Twitter. I think it's just Mike Donosky, at Mike Donosky on Twitter, and Mike Donosky on LinkedIn.
Great. And I think we started the order of the Mets with like Matt Cull from New York first. So you go first now as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I'm pretty active on X, now used to be Twitter, also known as Twitter. At Device Deploy. Find me, harass me. I love feedback. I always say the only bad feedback is feedback we don't hear. So please keep it coming, and we love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, 100% agree with that statement there. Matt Chabot, what about you?
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn. Please feel free to reach out. And I'm also available on Twitter with the Comfy Manager Dogs handle, as well as other socials.
Yeah, really love what you're sharing on social media as well all together already. So definitely follow these guys all here as well. So before we close, there's a small announcement I want to make from my side as well. So there's a new book called Mastering Microsoft Intune, the second edition of the MEM version that got released 2 years ago, going out as well somewhere mid-February. So if you're interested in learning more about Intune Suite and everything of Intune from like A to Z and such, go to aka.ms/mastering Intune to pre-order the book as well. So with that, let's wrap it up, and I hope to see you back as well. And everybody, thanks for watching, and please ensure to check windowsinthecloud.com to watch all the previous episodes as well. So thanks for joining, and hope to see you next time.